Hello everybody. So a few days ago I posted a video about changing air filters on a Subaru Ascent. This time it is this 2020 Ford Fusion Hybrid SE or SE Hybrid. I got my two other filters. Airplane overhead somewhere. I can't see it because of all the sun that's finally starting to hit us. We had several tornado scares in this area. I live in northern Illinois, and we had tornadoes, not here, but in the vicinity. And this is the engine filter, and the first time I've ever seen it, I'm like, what is going on? I don't understand this design. And, you know, when we go under the hood, we'll get it. And then this is the one for the interior. So again, they're 10 bucks a piece, or the other one I bought is a $20 kit. These were $9.99 a piece. And the weird thing is about it is that, oh crap, while Subaru is super simple, you don't need any tools. Everything you need is your two hands and the filter. Here you do need tools, and you do need to take things apart. And I'm one of the few people that probably still use my little code. And there you go, punched in the code, nicely lit up. It pops open all doors, and we're gonna start by looking inside. And once again, I know I've done this video before. Little bird poop there. All right, with the hood propped open, what do we see? Well, we see this contraption that requires like 6 bolts to be undone, which is, again, I know I've mentioned it before, so it's just beating a dead horse. Why not make some sort of a clippity clips or some sort of things that you can pull with your bare hands? I don't know. I am relieved that, unlike with the town car, this car seemed to have figured out a way how to put a little mesh here, so stuff, although it does still collect, but it doesn't, like, you know, cause major overflow issues like I had in the town car. So, you know, if there's a will, there's a way. You can kind of see that. It's a little dusty underneath it. Oil has been changed. And you know what, this car, even though it is my daily driver, I commute back and forth to work 22.2 miles, and they're all on surface streets. I rarely even go on a highway with this car. Because it's, again, if we go on some sort of a family trip or any kind of a long trip, we always take the Subaru. And during the Subaru video, I mentioned that my neighbors have a black Limited, and here it is. One day I do want to make a video when they're parked next to each other, as far as like what makes a Limited, and what makes the Premium a Premium. So I'll make that video at some point in the future. But yeah, in here, you got some components here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo this thing, and we're going to take a look at the filter. All right, so with this cover removed, so it looks like 5 bolts, and you know, you got to be kind of careful because this thing will allow you to take them all the way out. So it's not really obvious where they end and where they begin. So the chances of you dropping it inside your engine compartment is kind of high, which kind of increases the chances of you screwing this up. But here's the filter from last year. Let's take it out and let's take a look. Yeah, it's perfectly good. I mean, it's got a little darkening here. Here's this one side by side, obviously. Well, one is yellow, one is more white. Looks like the pattern is pretty much the same. Just got the black gasket here. And yeah, look, it's perfectly clean. So here's what I'm gonna do. I mean, I will replace it since I already bought it, but now that I kind of have an idea of this thing, I will probably not change it. So I will probably just change it every 2 years instead of 1. All right, so with the cover back on, exactly what I was talking about, how dropping a screw down there is a big risk. I actually ended up dropping one of these magnetic screwdrivers. It's a little star. What is it called? SL4? No, it's a T20. You can see the little missing one. Well, it got dislodged from the screwdriver and it fell somewhere down there. So that's the first time that ever happened to me, but probably not the first time it ever happened to humans. And that's why having this as a thing, that's a bad idea. So you can kind of see some components there. I don't know, what is that, an oxygen sensor of some kind? So hopefully when I start the car and move it away, it's gonna hopefully fall out. I've checked underneath and it does not look like it fell from anywhere. Let's check, maybe it fell here. Nope, it did not. So. All right, now moving inside, this component kills me every time. At this point, this panel is so loose that I can basically just pry it open with my hands, which I'm pretty sure is not a good show of marksmanship here, because or quality, because again, like you guys are designing a system, you guys are designing a component that is that should be removed every single time to change out the filter, and no wonder so many people are not doing that, because who wants to do this every single time? I mean, I'm pretty sure people at your typical, repair shop or Jiffy Lube, they don't want to do this. Like, why do you need to put the screws to remove the glove box, which you have to remove, right up here? Like, what is the point? This panel, like, I don't want to keep having to remove it every year. So if this filter, which is, by the way, here's the new nice replacement one. If this filter, like when I open this up, and if it's clean like the other one, then this is going to turn into once every 2 years and possibly every 3 years, because, again, at some point, these clips will break. And I think I already broke one right here. That's why it's so easy for me to remove it. And that's why the first time I ever took possession of this car, when I bought it, and I had to, Google and YouTube it and all that stuff, because I thought, like, how am I going to remove this glove box? Because I didn't see anything obvious. And these things, unlike the Subaru, when you just unclip this thing, this is like, it's all one assembly. It's built in. So, and I'm like, well, where is the access door? And I got some coupons for oil changes in there. And I was like, okay, well, how do I get to it? And finally, looking up on YouTube, I was like, oh, God damn it. Like, this needs to happen every year? Like, what are the odds of these things breaking, the second time you try it? And obviously, the first time I ever did this, it was dirty as hell, because it's like, whatever I bought it at, like 32,000 miles, something like that. It's got like 58,000, I think, right now. Yeah, nobody ever bothered doing this, and nobody ever bothered changing it. So, all right, well, let me get my tools. Hopefully I don't drop anything in there. And let me get these removed, and let's look at this filter. All right, so there we have it. And, with these two 7mm bolts, I completely forgot about this bottom one right here, too, that I think it goes like into here. And there was, the first time I ever did this, there was another one that goes into here, but I just threw it away because I could not get, like, I barely was able to remove it. And I was not able to put it back in, so I just threw it away. So my glove box is being held by 3 points instead of 4 points, and it's been just fine. And then down here, there we go. By the way, these things did have also 2 more bolts. I think one was right there behind this little thing. And I threw that away as well, because trying to get in here every single time, let's see. These clips, I think, have to be removed. Not removed, but like undone. There you go. Yeah, like on this car, somehow, they just thought of the worst possible way of having this filter. There it is. There you go. You son of a gun. All right, so what do we see? We see pretty clean filter, folks. Here, some piece just flew out, whatever this is. But look. It's a perfectly good filter. Like you put it, here's the dirty one, here's the clean one. And these are pretty much identical as far as like its construction goes. Here, let's take a look. I mean, the white, it's still even white. So like you put these together and chances of you finding differences are pretty slim. So I think just the way that I drive and the fact that I always drive in just paved roads, and it's only like, it's not a lot of driving to begin with. So we're going to stick this thing in here, and this fan, and I always get these things confused. It's like airflow, it's like it shows you the airflow, right? But then it's like, well, airflow, but then I think in this car, because this is the fan, so the fan blows up. So I'm like, well, so I have to put it up this way, but then this thing looks upside down. So I don't know. I'm always having a hard time finding the right, I think it's also the wrong, it's also the wrong way. There you go. All right, I'm going to need, there it is. I'm going to need 2 hands. There you go. And then these things kind of click in. 2 hands to put this glove box back, to put this piece over it, put this piece over it. We'll sum it up. I'm going to try to drive this thing away just a little bit. Hopefully that bit will fall out. And hopefully I'm not going to kill the engine with a 30-cent bolt. Wish me luck. All right, well, there you have it, folks. 3 of the 4 screws are put back in. This trim clicked in. This trim clicked in. But I tell you, every time I do this, it just makes me want to choke the designer and just be like, look, buddy, is there any reason why you couldn't just cut a plastic hole like right here? You know, and if you needed more room, get rid of this shelf, right? Like, I understand that this shelf was here for some reason, maybe to give this whole contraption a rigidity. Cut a hole, put a plastic thing in there, in the hole, and then make that component accessible without having to do all this. And by the way, these are my coupons for pretty cheap oil changes here in the area. Well, they're not paying me to advertise them, so that's why I'm not. But those are, they've been sending some flyers via mail. So anyway, all right, so just based on the experience from this year, the fact that I'm not driving too much, the fact that, let's see, what do we got? 58,000 miles, I think. Yeah, there you go. And the next oil change is not until 61.5. Well, there's the place. So there's the place to advertise where I get my oil changes. And yeah, looks pretty good. All right, everybody. We will see you around.